So yeah, you cannot rope hermits into some, you know, this is some crazy shit. It's like, where are we? Who are all these people? What, you know? So we will see. We will see. Last year, for example, right? I was there. I didn't spend a second. We ran into Martin and some other hermits. I didn't even like. I never bothered to even ask, "Hey, where are you guys staying? Should we go for dinner tonight?" No, because I was constantly busy. We had things booked already. It was completely crazy, man. Yeah. So yeah, we'll see. Yeah, we ran in all the other like we ran into Martin and everybody else, right? And it's like, all right, I guess I left with the fans and they went into the other direction, so to speak. So it was like, huh, what's going on here? It was completely weird, man. But yeah. That we're gonna do it again next year. It was fun. I was like, they must be looking at me like, Rubin, like, who are these people? Yeah, talking this polycule. Yeah, man, it was fun. Good times. I'm looking forward to it. So yeah, so probably right if I go to TwitchCon San Diego, it would be more like the Hermits regular do, right? And you have your meet and greets and fan meetups and blah blah blah. But there's also private part to it, and I think that would also be very important. But to me, like my idea of going to TwitchCon Europe and private time with hermits doesn't really mix up well. At least how it went over the past few times when I went. So yeah, I like how it was last year unofficial. But yeah, I mean, I literally bought tickets for the con when we were already there. Day 2, I thought to myself, maybe I should get tickets to TwitchCon. I literally bought tickets to TwitchCon when we were already in Rotterdam. Like the plan was only we wanted to hang out and blah blah blah. Then I thought to myself, while I'm here, maybe I should also go to the TwitchCon actually, Danny, yeah. Danny had all kinds of plans. Yeah, I don't think everybody even had tickets to TwitchCon. It's completely next. I'm also going with the plan of not getting sick. I might wear a mask at the meet and greets or something, man. I need to talk to Scar how he's doing it. Scar never gets sick at the conventions. Vitamin D drops. Okay, masks and hand sanitizer. Yeah. No, it's like there was a bunch of people. Don't be too encouraged. Like if you live in the Netherlands, actually, there was a lot of people that only came to the TwitchCon. They had no tickets and whatnot, just for meeting some of the content creators or other people there. And there was a lot of people out in front. And a lot of content creators actually came outside to meet the people there. And I met plenty of people who said, hey, I couldn't afford a ticket. It's so great that you could still meet and so on, Yeah, honestly, Venta, like, let's face it, like TwitchCon, the only thing that is really worth checking out there, honestly, at least it was like that in Rotterdam, was the artists area, right? Like they have really, really cool art there. And you can buy really cool little pieces and bits and handcrafted stuff. That was really, really cool. The rest, there was really not much to do, and it's a lot of hype, a lot of loud people screaming. And for me, it's more like, I cannot walk around there. I immediately get cornered. And for anybody else, if you're not really into the MCC or other events there and so on, the convention itself is not that amazing, to be honest. Right? Yeah. Rotterdam alone, man, like we didn't spend much time at the convention. Like I only went there, right, and then I got swarmed, and then I stood there for several hours signing stuff, while everybody else was just doing whatever they wanted to do, right? And some people were literally just waiting there for me all the time. And then we moved on. And then second day, we also were like in the afternoon only for 1 or 2 hours because we wanted to go because MCC was happening. And then we knew I could finally walk around and check out the arts area without being swarmed all the time, right? So, but the convention itself, there's not so much going on. It's literally about meeting your friends and people you know from the community, right? So yeah, don't miss out on anything. Nah, like seriously, you don't need to go inside. You can easily come. Like generally, like there's a lot of other activities going on in the city and all kinds of stuff. Just hanging out around and in front of TwitchCon and so on, you can get enough, fan interaction and community interaction if you want that too. Don't really have to go. So yeah. Oh, the leaves that's new in 121.10. I think they have this. All the leaves have these particles now. Later, Montours. Thank you for hanging out. Do your editing. Yeah, people watching is great at the TwitchCon. I mean, I have to say that. people watching is great entertainment at TwitchCon because you really meet a lot of super creative people, right? The whole cosplaying community that goes there is, of course, like super amazing. Like, for the people, it's worth going to TwitchCon. But you don't necessarily have to hang out inside. Everybody is outside too, in front of the TwitchCon, right? When the doors close. And it's normally when the doors close of TwitchCon, the best time begins, right? There's the parties afterwards, or, people hanging out in front of TwitchCon and so on. Yeah. But the cosplayers are really, really cool. Yeah, cosplaying is cool. It's freaking cool. And if you go there, right, Hermit, there's so many Hermit cosplays of all shapes and sizes and forms and interpretations. It's amazing. Like, a lot of I always see a lot of Impulse cosplay, for example. Impulse is a popular cosplay character with us. Grian, of course, too. Right, you see lots of Grians, birds, pesky bird cosplays with wings and so on. Bunch of goats, of course, run around too, but goat cosplay is not so easy, right? Like, we have, what's her name, Larissa, maybe was her name, I think. Yeah, she's very active playing dog cosplay, right? And she's made this amazing costume with, yeah, Larissa, right? with proper horns and and the funny thing is also Larissa is a tall girl, right? She's got the statue. She's really tall, so her dog cosplay is freaking amazing, man. So, but a lot of effort. She has the face mask, horns, and everything, right? It's, it's not. Yeah. How tall am I? I'm 6'4", 6'5" ish, around that. Oh. Yeah, the horns were amazing. Yeah. Yeah, Larissa offered me to make me some. I didn't follow up on it yet, but maybe for next TwitchCon she can make me a pair, and I can run around with my horns. Right. What is that in centimeters? 196, I would say, something like that, probably. But don't, guys. I just was reading. I'm not planning to join a group of 30 people that plans to get wasted. It's like we didn't get wasted like last year. We partied, but I don't remember that anybody ever was too drunk or wasted. Also, there was no wasting. We were just Elsa cosplay for dog. Yeah, we were just having a good time. Like, I don't think, yeah, we didn't go that crazy. Like, it was a lot of talk, a lot of hanging out. We were just spending a lot of time together, late hours, right? We were up until 4 a.m. in the morning, and sure, everybody had a drink or two, but it's not like we, partied like crazy. And one night we were on the road to going crazy, right? But then we got cock-blocked pretty much because the karaoke bar was full. I think at that evening, right, we found this crazy karaoke bar. If we would have ended up in this karaoke bar at that one evening, I think things would have escalated violently. Because, we were already at a nice dinner beforehand, and we were already drinking sake and whatnot. And if we would have transitioned into the karaoke bar straight away, I think yeah. But we got blocked. It was full. We couldn't get in. So yeah. That sake was so good. Oh. Cock block from transitioning. Yeah, that's it. Listen, man, I would never want to transition. All right? I would never want to give up my penis. My penis is everything for me. So, I'm sorry. I'm going to stay male. I know that's not how it works. I know I can keep it. Lord have mercy. Now I said something again. Everybody be tripping. I'm sorry you don't want to be pretty, dog. Hey, listen. I can be pretty too. Right? He's beautiful already, yeah. Though estrogen does shrink it. I don't know, does it? Listen, guys, man, there's people amongst us here in the community that are more educated when it comes to transitioning. No idea. I mean, obviously, yeah, let's say, right, just from a sports perspective, if you're a bodybuilder, right, and you have low testosterone, of course your balls would shrink. So I would assume, right, if you would take estrogen and female hormones as a guy transitioning, I would assume some shrinkage might be happening. But I don't know. It's just an assumption. Not always, but quite often it does. Okay. It can, not always though. All right. It's true. It just, right? I mean, we can talk about topics like that without it being weird, right? It's a totally normal topic. We need to normalize talking about topics like that. It's not a big deal. Actually, it's a tiny deal then. Oh, yeah. I like to educate cis people and stuff like, yeah, what the hell? You have to educate. You know, that's the thing. Like, so-called cis people have no fucking idea what the hell's going on because it's not part of their life. And you cannot expect cis people to be experts, you know, all of a sudden when it comes to all topics related to LGBTQ, trans, or whatever. You know, education needs to be happening. That's the thing, you know. If you're part of it and it's your life, right, and you're in the midst of it and you're part of the culture that is around LGBTQ and trans community and so on, for you everything is normal. But for most people, it's like completely, you know, many cis people don't even know what cis means. So it's just there needs to be more communication about all topics, right? You have to see like the public, right? Most people. But when they hear about trans people or so, they hear something that is, I don't know, obnoxious to them, right? I don't know, we talked about it, how right-wing politics tend to grab topics like that and make it a big deal where it's not, I don't know, sports and stuff like that, right? Rarely people get a chance to educate themselves and learn more about what's actually going on and what does it mean, and I don't know where to start with, man. Yes, transitioning is not normal for transgender either. It feels overwhelming and new to me. Yeah, of course. I mean, just imagine. I mean, hormones are a powerful thing, right? And then you're completely transitioning your body. I mean, to me, that also sounds very scary, right? To be able to make a decision like that, it requires balls. Yeah, and that that requires, you know, it's a brave decision, right? And so, yeah. I'm an autistic trans person and I hate changes. Transitioning is hell. Oh yeah, man, I can imagine. Probably. Yeah, that's holy shit. Yeah, that's complicated for sure. Yeah. It's a question, right? There is so many in between things and so on as well. Like not everybody that is transitioning also uses hormones, right? I think a lot of people misunderstand that too, right? It's not only about a physical transition. Maybe the physical part is one part of it, but not the main thing. It's a mindset thing. It's a perception thing. There's so many things going on. I mean, I'm just happy I don't have to transition, right? That I'm not, because, dude, the way I overthink everything, I'm pretty sure if I would be transitioning, there would be hell for me. And I'm pretty sure a lot of people that are transitioning, it's a very difficult time, man. Hard to imagine what you feel and what goes through your brain and during that time, man. Trans girl not on hormones, yet here been out representing for years. Yeah. And you're an intersex person born with both parts, we are friends and felt daily struggles. Yeah. Hormones and especially surgery are such a big thing to do. The least I can do is suspect pronouns. Yeah, exactly. I'm not formally diagnosed with anything, but I am trans, gender fluid, and it's been a really tricky journey, especially because I too struggle with changes. Yeah, I hate changes too. You know, like for me, but it's such a paradoxon, right? You know, you need to change, but you hate changes at the same time to keep a good mindset during that, or or constantly to not start hating yourself because you know, change is uncomfortable for you, but you need to change to be yourself. Bruh, sounds rough. Yep, I'm currently saving for a top surgery, but that shit expensive, especially when currently trying to get food stamps back. Yeah. Is a question like when we top surgery, is that generally used for, you know, removing female breasts, or is it a general term as well? Like if somebody's transitioning from male to female and would get a boob job, would that be also implanting too? All right. Welcome to the life of an autistic person. Thank you, Mika. Top search, just surgery, so trans women use it too. I see. Yeah. All right. I may not be in the intention to step on someone's toes. Yeah, obviously. Some trans women get implants, yeah. Sometimes I wonder about gender cause. Okay, as I'm. The thing is, right? I never, I personally, I never thought about my gender identity much ever, right? That never was a question that came up in my life. Like, I felt, yeah, I'm a guy, it's cool, you know, so all good. So for me, it's not a topic I had to deeply think about, right? So I think that's the case for most people. Thankfully, like, I'm interested in things just from a side of just trying to be a decent guy, right, and not be a dickhead and not let people live. It's just also interesting to me what you feel and how it is to be a person that is transitioning, right? It must be very difficult in so many aspects, hard to grasp what's even going on, right? It's crazy shit. Yeah. It can be very confusing because in my case, I'm gender queer, but still identify as my assigned gender. Wait. What does gender queer mean then? And see, yeah, that's going, like, already, wait. So you are gender queer, but you still identify as your assigned gender. Okay. What was some sort of deviation? Okay. Gender queer is kind of non-binary, so no strictly male or female. Okay. Of course it's interesting. That's what I'm saying, Chase. Man, shit's like it's complex stuff that's going on. I'm Demi girl? What's that? Or does it mean you switch between or what? So I still identify as female, but still a girl. Holy shit. Alright. Oh. You good? He should be fine. I think he's just raiding a monument. Now. Okay. He's good. Demigirl is when you aren't always feeling like a woman, but you don't identify as a man. So anywhere from gender to hyper feminine, depending on the day. Holy shit. Bro, okay. Yeah, that's so much going on. I'm non-binary, but also don't want to start hormones because of the side effects being so scary. Okay. But how can you identify if you assign gender, the definition of cis, and still be gender queer? Yeah, it's complicated. I like when my boyfriend wears my panties. What? Well, I'm reading the deep, and then Lomax mom hits me with the panty stuff. I'm trying to learn. What? I'm Libra masculine. What? Which means 50% agender and 50% masculine. Man, you guys are fucking complicated. Listen, man. I love you all, but holy shit. I need a dictionary. I need a dictionary for all of this. Holy fuck. Microlabeling. Yeah, alone the word microlabeling is complicated to me. Holy shit. There are wikis, yeah, for sure. We are like onions. Many layers. Yeah, bro. No wonder nobody understands what's going on. I'm Demi Boy. What? I go by he, they. I'm like, alright. But okay, now let's see if somebody can. So let's use the example Demi Boy now, okay? So, which means half of the time you feel like male and then half of the time you feel non-binary, right? But how does this affect you, right? How does it materialize when you say I'm non-binary now? How does it, like, how does it affect your life? It's more of a feeling. It's a feeling. For me, it's like I'm fine with she, her, both them. I can gender queer because some days. Alright. It's a vibe. Gender presentation, so that I feel more of a guy. I'd present differently. Interesting. For example, I got really confused when I looked into the mirror the other day because, bro, why do you have tits? Alright. I think that explained it very well to me. To a cis guy, throw in tits and everything becomes clear. Alright. I think that gave me a good... Yeah, okay, that explained it. Yeah, okay, that made a lot of sense to me. Yeah, man, that's, while we are at, gender-specific things, like, when in doubt, use tits to explain stuff and every cis male will understand and listen. I'm a visual learner, exactly. Show me your boobs and I will learn. Exactly. Come over and I'll show you what non-binary means. Hey, every time I go to a gay bar, everybody loves me there. Because all the gays are on a mission to convert me. I get a lot of free drinks. It's them legs, exactly. And I'm tall. What? El Gigante. I think if I would be active in the gay scene, El Gigante would be my underground name, Then I would grow a thick mustache and then wear black leather pants. And they call me El Gigante. And then, they know when I'll be around because they hear my chains shaking. It's El Gigante. I'm gonna be a bear. Exactly. A bear dog. You know, I'm not very hairy. I would have to get, you know, hair implants all over the place and so on to be proper, you know. What is a twunk? Oh my god, now it's getting complicated again. I need to get wider. Yeah. Proper bear, right? You need to be a bit more, like, heavy. Twink? What is it? Older twink? Hairy and wide. Are you talking gay scene or Mexican wrestling scene? That intersects, okay? If Doc was gay, he would be too powerful. Hard to tell. I don't know if I was gay, how I would be. Maybe I would be super feminine. You get the opposite, right? I'm very masculine in a sense, right? I'm very cis, like super cis in that sense. I don't know. Maybe if I was gay, I would be super
I miss
feminine.
music. Can you play Verbatim by Mother Mother for me, pretty please?
All right. If you ask so nicely. Dog interacting. What is it?
I wear women's underwear and then I go to strike a pose in my full-length mirror. I cross my legs just like a queer, but my libido is strong when a lady is near. Yeah. Oh, what defines a straight man straight? Is it the boxer in the brief or a 12-ounce steak? Nah, I tell you what, a woman loves most. It's a man who can slap but can also stroke.
Wait, but somebody, you might not want to call yourself super cis. Listen, everything needs context, of course. Yeah, I think it's maybe a negative, it sounds like a negative thing, but I just wanted to say I am cis, right? So.
I live by a hospital and every day I go out walking past its sickly windows. I see
What is this
people
song?
dying there, but my tender age makes it hard to care. The incinerator and the big smokestack, it's a phallic symbol and it makes me laugh.
What are we talking about? Phallic symbols.
Heart attack, come on, humble my bones with a cardiac.
Being cis shouldn't have. It doesn't. To me, it doesn't. That's the thing, right? But I get it, right? If you say I'm super cis, that maybe sounds you don't like, you're against trans or whatever. But we need to get rid of that shit. I'm very confused about this song. But we need to get rid of this shit, man. At least here, you know, we don't need this. Here, we are under the assumption everybody's existence is loved and cherished and tolerated. So technically, if somebody says I'm super cis here in chat, it doesn't mean they doesn't like trans people, right? We just need to get rid of this. There's not always this us versus them thing. You know? Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying, lady. Treat everybody with respect. So what am I? I love penis and boobs, only in sex with men though. But I fall in love with any person I would accept the gender, race, size. Lomax, man, that just makes you a non-superficial person. Because, you know, you like people for who they are, and that's the basis of everything. Right? So, I guess that's pretty normal. Personally, I hate the labeling. Yeah, the labeling is, I'm also not a big friend of the labeling. I also said it a bunch of times, but I learned for the LGBTQ community and people around it and so on, the labels are quite important because it gives you a sense of, you know, this is my group, and, you know, see, it helps you identifying amongst each other and being in a, you know, is, to me, I also was say, why do people put so many labels? You know, because, you know, my problem with the labels is this label might become the most defining thing about you, and anything else seems not so important. But that's not true. Every person has so many aspects to him. You're not only that label, right? That's what I think about it. But I understand where it's coming from. Right. Yeah, exactly. It's less isolated and so on, right? I call myself bisexual, but I think I'm really inclusive. Yeah. Labels are also pretty important in the disabled community as a way to get access to the right support. Right. Yeah. The only thing, that's the thing. That's my only grudge, what I don't like so much about labels. I feel like a person, you know, if you say, I don't know, I'm a vegetarian, right? Then everybody will just reduce you to the fact, okay, vegetarian and nothing else, or what, you know, that's something, vegetarian. And if somebody, you know, yeah, that's, you know, like, to me, a person has so many layers and aspects, like onions, like you described, you guys, yourself described before, right? You guys said you're like onions. There's many layers, and so that's how I see people. And dumb people, when they see a label, they reduce you to that label they maybe put on you or the label you put on yourself, and that's most of the time bad, right? Yeah, I think the label thing for the cis people, it's not such a big deal, but don't underestimate. That's also something I learned, right? For me as a cis person, I always wanted, like, I want to get rid of labels, right? As a cis person, I just want to get rid of labels. I want to be perceived as an individual and not be labeled at all. But that's a completely different thing. And that's was also a learning process for me in the LGBTQ community, trans community, and so on. The labels are important. So, yeah, it's a bit harder, if you're a cis person to really get into the label thing, but it's an important thing. I learned that though. I didn't realize from the beginning. I always wondered, why are people so eager about their labels and so on? But it's really an important thing, right? Really appreciate it. Man is an introspective man. Yeah, but it's a learning process. It's not like that. It took me. This takes a while, and you always still misinterpret things and don't understand properly. Yeah. But yeah, the whole label thing, maybe it is also important for you guys to understand, right? Often the LGBTQ community is in a position to explain themselves, right? Maybe sometimes it's also good to listen to the cis people a little bit and listen to their questions, right? And their insecurities about the whole topic and so on. But unfortunately, these moments of communication in that regards rarely happen. Like, a lot of people are afraid, right? But look, so far we could talk about this very, very grown up and maturely, and it seems the chat is in order. Nobody is shouting at each other. I saw a little bit of debate here. Don't go at each other, Hannah and Amethyst now. Like, it's right. As a trans woman sat here piling on the concealer to hide the beard shadow to go out, and reminded me how much I love this community and its openness. You love the single ladies. Like, to me, that's already an achievement, that somebody in the trans community is just brave enough to just speak straight from their heart just now. I'm sitting here covering using my makeup, covering my beard shadow, right? That's brave to just say, and it's good that you feel comfortable to be able to just say that and don't worry about it. It's so cool, man. I really like that. It's just great. I like that. We should normalize these topics, right? We should be able to laugh about that, right? It's a funny thing, right? To me, it's like, yeah, right. That's the problems a trans person probably faces, right? It should be a normal thing to just giggle, right? A good friend of us told me, man, he said, they're having issues covering their beard stubble. It should be something we could giggle about and not be a weird thing, right? And a complicated thing. And everybody should just be able to express themselves and whatever. I don't know. Laughing gives free apps. Yeah. Now the concealer experts come out of the woodworks. It's nice. Yeah, I know, Mother Goose. Like, as I said, everybody should be able to express themselves, but most people don't feel safe to do so. And there is good reasons for it as well. We know we're living in a climate at the moment, right, where especially as a trans person, you get blamed for everything that happens, bad happens in the world, it feels. So, I don't like this safe space term because I don't like labels, right? Safe space feels too limited and almost negatively affected. The term is negatively loaded almost. Like, I just want a place where there should be no need for safe spaces. You know what I mean? It's stupid. The world should be safe as it is. There should be no need for safe spaces, You know what I mean? That's the whole point of it. Why do we even have to create safe spaces for people to speak their mind? It's fucked up, man. I prefer, like how we call our place here, I guess we did that before, and I saw somebody quoting it before, asshole-free place, right? That would be good. I'll be good with that. We don't need a safe space, we just need an asshole-free place, and then automatically it becomes a safe space, right? The no asshole zone. Yeah. No, you're allowed, Aventa. You're the only asshole that is allowed here. Yeah, talking about asshole moves. To wrap up this, we went over today, but it was good talk. I think important talk to always have here and there, right? It's important for people that are in a minority or that are underrepresented to here and there have this moment where they get acknowledged and represented, right? You don't have to write it on your flag as a cis guy like me to constantly fish for compliments and be like, hey, you know, virtue signaling, yes, I'm an ally. That's only worth so much. Of course, it helps. But I think what is important here and there, we need to open the space to also talk about the things that really affect you. Saying an ally is one thing, but how much use does it have, right? It's going to be a long road ahead of us when it comes to these topics. Look, man, women's rights, for example, right? It's a thing that goes on for hundreds and hundreds of years, and we're still not there. Yeah. Oh, we got some ways to go, but eventually we'll get there. I know. It would be so simple, right? Just be decent. Small steps at a time, but we'll get there. But never forget, with this attitude, us versus them, that's not getting us anywhere. You know, I know there's a lot of bad experiences, especially the people from the trans community and so on are making with the cis community and so on. But trust me, I mean, there's a lot of people who want nothing more than everybody to chill and have a good time. And I still believe that is the majority of the people. Don't listen to the loud naysayers and to the assholes who question your existence and shit like that. That is not what most people think. I strongly believe that. Strongly believe that. But you can also not expect, right, people to constantly jump to your help and be there for you and support you if they have nothing to do with the whole thing, right? They're just living their normal lives and doing their thing. The last thing that is on their mind is fighting for trans rights because they have way other problems in their life. So just because somebody is not actively supporting you doesn't mean they're against you, right? Makes sense, eh? Anyways, I don't want to, as I said, Elodie mentioned it before, I don't want to be performative. Like, I'm not, this is not, of course, this is a safe space, so to speak. Everybody is welcome here, but I'm not, everybody is welcome here. That's why we have the single ladies, you know what I mean? That's representing everyone. Everybody is part of it. Like, we just want to chill here. That's it. Single ladies' rights, exactly. And 750 gifted subs today. Absolutely mental. Thank you so much, guys. I will see you on the next Saturday, where we keep on pushing. Let's see where we can push it this month, but we're getting there. Not 777. No, unfortunately not. And I think we will also not make it to that today, because now I'm going to wrap up the stream. And is Cup Fan streaming today? Next Saturday, you owe me something? All right, Rosie. Yeah. Okay. Then let's raid Cup, eh? MCC action for you, and maybe beforehand you find some time to watch a little bit of BOO. Alright. Alrighty. Thank you, guys. Thank you for your strong support. Love you. Crazy bunch.